Byron Benton, and Byron has been boxing with me for 5 years. And we must step aside.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you all for being here, or inviting us to be here. Michelle pointed to 5 points of what Rocksteady or is doing. And you're going to hear a fair amount, you're going to see a lot of the different exercises, physical, vocal, that we do on a regular basis to try to fight this really nasty disease. I'd like to address the 5th point she mentioned, and that's the social aspect of Parkinson's. Because Parkinson's, most people have suffered from Parkinson's for anywhere up to 10 years before they're actually diagnosed the first time. The almost universal, nothing is 100%, but the almost universal first reaction of a newly diagnosed Parkinson's patient is self-isolation. All these times you've been in a group and you've dropped something and you said, oh, dummy me, I dropped it, oh, just, I don't know, clumsy old fool, or whatever you had said to cover the fact that you had dropped it. You now realize that it's not that. It's a disease. You've got a name for it. It's Parkinson's. And you are going to feel, if you don't feel it on the first day, you will feel it, that you don't want to go to groups because everybody in that group is going to stare at you because you're shaking. Because the normal perception of people is that if you're shaking like that, you could have Parkinson's, but there's obviously something wrong with you if you're there. And people will stare at you. There's just no way to get around it. And you don't like it. Who does? Well, you eventually come to realization that there's nothing you can do, and if you don't break the idea of self-isolation, it's a tough life to live. You lose your friends, you might not have family, and it is a really tough life. I was lucky enough to go to the neurologist that Michelle referred to, and he recommended that I try Rocksteady. Now, growing up and as a young man and as a professional person, I was never a gym rat. You couldn't get me into a gym for all the tea in China. I didn't want to go. I didn't. I walked in the first day at Rocksteady not knowing what to expect and anticipating there was going to be a bunch of testosterone, overgrown people there beating on each other, and I wasn't interested. Well, I couldn't have been further from the truth. I was introduced to a few and eventually all, a wonderful group of people. And the reason there's such a wonderful group of people and I felt so relaxed after several sessions was that every single person there had the same thing I did. Things that I won't talk to my neighbors about, I don't talk to the family about. These people were all going through exactly the same thing. So there was no, oh, he's gonna or she's gonna stare at me or they're gonna think I'm funny. We're all talking to ourselves. We know each other. We know what the other person's going through. And that is such a tremendous, tremendous weight off your shoulders. And it's to the point now that I have far less fear of going to groups that aren't Parkinson related, but it's because of the social that Rocksteady has brought to me. Excuse me just one second. Some of the issues we have. The other thing is Parkinson's, if you're not aware of it, is a nasty, quiet, you don't know it's there type of disease for a long, long time. And if every single person in this room today had Parkinson's, and you were to go to every other person and compare your symptoms, you'd never find another person with the same symptoms that you have. There are so many things that are associated with Parkinson's. One of the first things you'll learn, and it's, again, nothing's 100%, but one of the first things you will learn as a Parkinson's patient is that you probably won't die from Parkinson's, but I can guarantee you'll die with it. And there's no cure, there's no known cure. There's thoughts of it, they're working on it, but there's no real recent or near future hope for a cure. If you have Parkinson's, you're not going to get rid of it. You have to accept that. Because along with Parkinson's, everybody who has it has other medical problems. Dyskinesia. That's the really erratic motion, you probably know better than I, of the arms and legs and everything. Everybody has many other diseases, and that's what's so difficult. Because my Parkinson's affects me. My major problem with the Parkinson's is balance. But I still have to exist. I can't not live. And, but anyways, as I was saying, Rocksteady, and I'll get off here, but Rocksteady opened up a whole avenue for me to be able to freely speak about things that are bothering me with my Parkinson's. And to the point that at one point, because of my Parkinson's and my PTSD, I was seriously contemplating ending my own life. I didn't, obviously. And the major reason I didn't was Parkinson's, was the people at Rock City. There was a group I could fall back to. I had a support group that didn't even realize until I needed it, and it was there. So it's a wonderful thing. It does wonderful things. The physical is good, but the mental is just as important as the physical. Thank you.